Live from Macworld Expo in San Francisco, the rabid pigeon capital of America, it's Bungie TV, the only channel that really matters. Featuring more Bungie stuff than you can shake a stick at, Bungie TV isn't afraid to ask the tough questions. Like, why are you shaking that stick at us anyways? Is that a really stick, or are you just happy to see us? And now we give you the host of Bungie TV, the man who paid for his sex change with chump chains, Joseph Staten.
That was an even better intro than we had yesterday. By the way, everybody, on the intro this morning, Peter Tamte, Alex had to go back to the Bungie West offices, but Peter is going to be our roving reporter in the booth today, and my, what a wonderful BTV broadcast we have for you. Without further ado, let me go back to Peter, who has managed to rustle up a fan, who I hear has a pretty stupid trick for us, Peter.
Indeed, we have a very stupid trick. Are you ready?
Actually, Peter,
okay.
before we begin the stupid fan trick, I should probably let everybody know who you are at Bungie. Actually, hey, Peter, why don't you introduce yourself and let everybody know what you do?
Well, Joseph, I'm the Executive Vice President of Publishing at Bungie Software.
That's great. What does an Executive Vice President of Publishing do, Peter, other than just, generally speaking, take up room in the executive suite?
That's pretty much what I do, Joe.
Hey, Peter, will I still have my job when I go back to Bungie?
I'm not sure about that yet, Joe.
Okay, great. So let's get to the stupid fan trick. Peter, who's the fan that we have this morning?
All right. Why don't I let you introduce yourself?
Name's Jeff Grossenbach.
Jeff, and where are you from, Jeff?
From Seattle, just flew in this morning.
Ah, indeed. And you've been a Bungie fan for a while?
Years and years.
Years and years. Back to Marathon days?
Yep.
Hey,
wow.
Peter, what?
How about all the way back to Pathways days?
Not quite that far.
Oh, well, that's still pretty good. Marathon, that's not too bad.
You know, I knew the minute I got that microphone in your hand, Peter, that you'd just be talking away and you'd be loving every minute of it.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, so why don't you ask Jeff what he'd like to win from the Bungie store? He gets his pick, anything he wants in the Bungie store.
What would you like to win from the Bungie store, Jeff?
A copy of Oni.
A copy of Oni, all right. Can we do that, Joe?
I don't think so, but you can tell Jeff what we can do is if he does an exceptional job with the stupid fan trick, that we'll take his name and we'll get him on the Oni beta test list.
We'll get you on the Oni beta list. Did you hear that?
Fantastic.
All right, we're on. So, Jeff, now as I understand it, you're going to try to stuff as much of your body into that trash can over there as possible. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, let's go for it.
All right, Jeff looks confident. He's picked the larger of the two trash receptacles. Oh, he's got a leg in. He's down. He's in.
Oh!
Jeff is in. Jeff is in the can.
Jeff, you win the prize.
Jeff, you win the prize. Jeff, that was probably the best trash can stuff I've seen in a long time. Peter, Jeff can't hear me. Why don't you let him know that we thought that was brilliant?
All right for Jeff. Jeff, you win the prize. All right, definitely on the Oni beta list.
Hey, so tell Jeff to go around hang around the booth, and after we're done with the broadcast, I'll get his name, and we'll definitely get him on the list.
All right, Jeff. That sounds great. Back to you, Joseph.
Thanks. Hey, so as you can see, the fan tricks just get stupider every day of Bungie TV, and if you have an exceptionally stupid Bungie fan trick, come on down. As a matter of fact, last night, two gentlemen volunteered to do something that involved nudity tomorrow. So if you're looking for something exceptionally stupid, don't miss tomorrow's show. Thanks, Peter. We'll be going back to Peter in a little bit. But before we get on with the rest of the show, I wanted to answer a couple letters that have come into the Bungie TV letters mailbox. We got a lot of letters, but the one thing that we got the most questions about was Halo, not surprisingly. And most people wanted to know a little bit more about Halo's backstory, a little bit more about the setup of the game. So I thought I'd just take some time and give you guys the basic story of Halo so you know what to expect. You all should gather around, get some popcorn, get a warm blanket, curl up in bed, and get ready for a BTV story. Do we have like some fancy little graphic video fade we can do, Jason? All right, we'll let this suffice. So here's the story of Halo, right? It's a couple hundred years in the future. People of Earth have gone out and colonized the galaxy. They made a number of different outposts in one particular region of the galaxy and are doing fairly well until they run into a massive group of aliens called the Covenant. Now, keep in mind, this isn't just one alien. It's actually a conglomeration of different alien races, none of which are particularly nice. On the whole, they're especially nasty, and they're pretty zealous. They have a lot of really zealous religious fervor, and whenever they come in contact with one of the human outposts, they wipe it out utterly, without any word, without any warning, a couple cryptic messages, but then they raise the planet in a tremendous firestorm. They're destroying all the human systems, and the unfortunate thing is they're getting closer and closer to Earth. Now we have a final set-piece battle with the aliens at one of the last remaining human colonies that is not Earth, and we get totally obliterated, except for one human ship. And the commander of this human ship decides that rather than lead the aliens closer and closer to Earth, that they're going to plot a course to some random destination in the galaxy and lead the aliens away with them. So they set this random course, they log it into the computer's AI, the AI blasts them out of the system, and oddly enough, the entirety of the alien force follows them. Not one ship, not a couple, but every single Covenant battleship follows this one human ship. Now, when this one human ship arrives at this uncharted destination, they find a couple cool things in the system. They find a big gas giant planet, which has a moon orbiting around it. But in between the two things is this ring structure, something they've never seen before. It's 10,000 miles in diameter. It has an atmosphere. It has continents. It can support life. It's a habitat. You can live on it. And the human ship comes into the system, makes these very quick discoveries, but before it can do anything else, it's attacked by the Covenant battle fleet and broken into bits. Before the ship is entirely destroyed, however, the commander of the human ship is able to jettison certain essential supplies, troops that remain alive, vehicles, and all these different things land in various places on the Halo ring. And you, the main character of the game, an elite military officer, are able to bail out of the breaking apart human ship at the very last minute and burn through the atmosphere of the ring, which is Halo, land on the surface of the ring, and what begins is a guerrilla war between you and this massive, overwhelming alien fleet. Aliens land on the ring, and they engage you and the other members of your former crew in a variety of battles around the ring. So that's the basic backstory of Halo. All that happens before the game begins. And again, the game of Halo is a third-person action game. It's all about action from minute to minute, and it tells the story of you, one person alone, with your friends, with weapons, with vehicles, fighting a guerrilla war against a fairly overwhelming alien force. So that's the basic story of Halo. I'm sure I've given you actually more details than Peter wanted me to give. Probably Peter's giving me the look that I, in fact, don't have a job when I get back to Bungie on next Monday, which is bad. Now, the other letter that someone sent in yesterday, they really liked the tour we gave of the Bungie East headquarters, and they asked, so, hey, what about the Bungie West headquarters? Because though we are located in Chicago, we do have a development studio, which is in San Jose, California. And this person was curious about, so what's this development studio like? What's it look like? Who are the people there? Introduce us to the ONI team. So we've been putting together a tour of the ONI facilities, and we're ready to show that tour to you right now. The tour is narrated by Dave Dunn, who is one of the architects on the ONI team, modeling some of the ONI levels. So when the video starts up, you'll see Dave Dunn, and let's take it from there. This is the ONI, Bungie West.
Hi, I'm Jack Mahagoff reporting for Bungie TV. Here we have the Bungie West parking lot. As you'll notice, it's been newly paved. Very exciting. Make sure you get the handicap accessible spots here. What's over there, Dave? Oh, that's the Del Mar High School. Funny you ask. Please refer to me as Jack. Oh, sorry. Mr. Mahagoff? Yes. What's across the street? So across the street we have Del Mar High School, one of the finer institutions of somewhat learning in the California, San Jose area. I've noticed in my musings as looking out the window from my desk that the Del Mar High School students, on average, all smoke, all like to hang out in our parking lot, and all like to wear tight clothing. How you doing? You gotta be nice to the neighbors, you know. You guys friendly with any of your neighbors? Well, that's an interesting question. Not especially. Well, kind of, because like one of the downstairs neighbors is a hospice, and so how friendly are you going to be with a hospice? Mm-hmm. Don't mind the mess. Our maid's on vacation, but here you have the central portion of the Bungie offices. the drink slash entertainment center room. Yeah, you notice the fine selection of drinks that we get here. We get the Pepsis for Brent and Michael, the mugs for general everyone else, and a lot of different fruits and some crappy ass All Sport, which really is nasty. But Pepsi doesn't
I
carry.
heard Jason likes the All Sport.
Yeah, it makes me wonder about Jason. Also in here we have the entertainment area, which is a little bit,
Zoinks.
yeah, it's a little messy. But you know, that's you got your Sega Genesis, your Dreamcast, your PlayStation, your N64, your Neo Geo. I think we have a Jaguar over here. Is this a ColecoVision? And that's about it. But anything you want to play, I think we might have covered. Except for a couple of those fine. The Pippin. I don't think we have a Pippin.
Funny, we used to make software for the Pippin.
But we're working on that. Different Oni press paraphernalia and Ghost in the Shell things and a whiteboard. Very exciting.
Many corporate secrets.
G4.
Oh.
Exciting stuff. Here we have what I like to call like the core of the dark side, which the dark side would be this side of the room, which is all the cut and pasters, aka programmers. Here we have Michael. Now,
What's the etymology of the old cut and paster reference?
well, they cut and paste. That's what they do. They Control C, Control V. I mean, that's how you
code?
That's how you code, I think.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
This is where Michael Evans sits. Michael, one of the cut and pasters. Michael's very organized, as you can tell. He likes to know exactly where everything is, and he hardly ever drinks Pepsis. I mean, this must be at least from 2 hours ago, maybe. I'm thinking. Michael likes his Pepsi.
He's a caffeine junkie. Speak of the devil.
Speak of the devil. There he is, rumbling in.
You have been described as a Pepsi drinking cut and paster.
That's an accurate description. Here we have Kevin Armstrong's desk. We already saw him walking down the hall earlier. If this gets cut, then you didn't see him walk down the hall earlier. Kevin is one of the cut and pasters as well. A little more organized than Mr. Evans over here. What? There's total order. Exactly. Every half-filled Pepsi can is exactly where I want it. Kevin is a UT grad, so he is a UT junkie, as well as, I think, Babylon 5 and some other things that we just don't want to go into.
Okay.
So we'll move along.
This is the library.
This is, yes, the cut and paster library. So you see some fine reading like, hey, inner loops and Linux, the network toolkit, and blah, 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 cut and paste stuff. So then, over here, we have the war room, but we'll leave them to be. You may recognize those two folks as Brent Pease and Jason Jones. Here we have, which has been self-nicknamed by the inhabitants as the designer den. Now they're in a funny position. They're partially between the cool side, which is the artist's side, and the evil side, which is the cut and paster side. So every once in a while they LA themselves with LI, whatever, themselves with the cut and pasters or the scribblers. And so they walk that tightrope, and they walk it quite well. This is Hardy LaBelle.
Call me the Claw.
Call him the Claw. His alter ego while he has.
Dr. the Claw, baby. Dr. the Claw. Hi, Mom.
And here we have Chris Porter. And these two gentlemen are making it all come together. They're getting gameplay ready and roaring for all you Oni freaks to play. It's also a widely known fact that these two like to claim that every once in a while they experience what is called the cup. Don't believe the hype, baby. Don't believe the hype.
This is the home of the cup. I just like to say the cup belongs here on the West Coast, thanks mostly to our efforts.
I'd say it resides here 60-80% of the time.
Pretty much.
They're talking about now in the designer den. Not it resides 100% of the time in the Bungie West offices, but we know why that is.
We do let Dave win it every once in a while.
Okay, let's move on.
Sometimes Sean. Like today, we let him win it for a while.
Now, first I'd like to draw your attention to Tonari no Totoro. Clean air of their new home. This is very important.
What does that mean?
Clean air. I mean, that's what we all want. Clean air.
Is that some sort of cross between clean air and clam air?
Yes, I think that's exactly what it is. Where we get clam air, we're not sure. Well, okay, we're not going to go into that. So this is
This looks like a paperwork disaster.
a paperwork disaster. This is a guy that floats, like thinking he can maybe survive in the artist area, but this is the Hambone, or this is the Hambones area. If any of you ever come out to visit, I mean, if you're some Bungie fan, whatever, and you see Hamilton, he really likes it if you just go Hambone and you sing the Froggy Unicorn and Heated Ride Hambone song to him. In fact, if you call him on the phone, he answers the phone, you go Hambone. He likes that.
His number is.
We'll meet Hambone on our travails around the office.
Don't forget the.
Oh yeah. He also enjoys when the whole group sings to him. And they do it in the what song is that? Is that like the 2001? 2001. There you go. Hambone, Hambone. Hey, well, give us a wave. Okay. So here we have our resident, as he's been quoted in different magazines, the animation monkey, banging on the keys, getting
Whoop chimp.
the whoop chimp. Pardon my, I don't want to call him a monkey. A whoop chimp. Steve Abate.
Hey, what's that?
Wait,
Steve's got on his desk?
I'm just enjoying the cup.
Steve's currently holding the
Just
cup
animating
while
and
the true
enjoying my
owner of the
victory,
cup
the
is...
symbol of who's the best keeper in the office. It's nice to have you here.
Steve's currently holding on to the cup for the true champion, who's off doing things for PR stuff, like doing a little guided tour. But anyways, so Steve, anything you want to tell us about this fine title that you're working on, or all the animation
Well,
stuff, or anything about your desk? Or...
The desk, no, I wouldn't mind showing you this once you get on here. This is having to do with the conversation a little earlier. Something I've been working on. That's right, Gordon, he did right. Hambone.
You'll be seeing that in
That'll be in there.
in the Oni game.
It's a special combo you can work on.
It's the Hambone animation.
Call that the Hambone animation.
Likely to give somebody a ham boner.
It could. You get a little ham excited. So over here, straddling, but actually I'd like to call him the rock, the wall that holds off the evil mana that comes from the cut and paster side. The last line of defense. Sean Turbin. Sean's one of the, what do we call ourselves? The level modelers / real architects / professional architects / something else. Sean, tonight we're going out in honor of Sean. Sean is leaving us, unfortunately, moving back to the East Coast. We're going, it is sad. We're going to miss Sean, but we'll have some we'll have some good memories, and we're going to make memories tonight at the Mango Cafe in Palo Alto. Very exciting.
Mango Cafe.
Yeah, you can get your Jamaican jerk.
Jamaican jerk. That's food, right?
That is, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, exactly.
That's not like a pink poodle thing or anything.
No, we're not going to. Pink Poodle next week. Sean's official last day is next Tuesday, so that's a completely kind of jerk. But anyways, so here, well, I think one thing we have to point out about this spot in the office is that Sean has often, oh, you'll see that Sean's working on different stuff. But I really want to feature one thing about this spot, is that Sean has often claimed that he owns this chair. And to own a chair in our office, you got to sink a cube from it. I got to tell you,
Nothing but can.
he owns the chair. That was beautiful. Thank you very much, Sean. Oh, and by the way, if you ever see him on Live Place doing the trivia, he goes by the nickname Sean Turbo. It's very fair to just call him out as a cheater. It's widely known. Here we have, oh, well, first off, before I even introduce the young gentleman who's sitting here, I'd like to introduce his friend. Very exciting. This is Chris Hughes. Chris is our modeler slash texture slash all-around genius resident. And also, what else can we throw in here, Chris? Well, Chris probably has the best collection of doodads and knickknacks and Godzillas this side of Tokyo.
Side of the office.
Here we have Alex Okita, who's doing all the concept art for Oni. You can notice all over the place. Concept art, junk, inspiration, books aplenty. And you know what? Something else we might like to, I guess there's not a lot laying around, but Alex is the owner of gizmos and gadgets. I mean, we had knickknacks and whatnots, but you gotta see gizmos and gadgets. There we have a bag. Just regular old bag line. Oh, it's another camera. It used to be, oh, wait a minute.
Oh yeah, it's
A wireless webcam. Pretty exciting stuff, huh?
Can't see any
Wait a minute,
use
wait a
for
minute.
that other than some nefarious use.
Well, some would like to say that. Even more interesting is we have the helicopter. But wait a minute, this is my favorite. I'd like all of you to email me with your ideas of what this actually is for. And the person with the best idea or description, you'll win a free copy of
The Rapunzel costume?
I think maybe Marathon for the Pippin. We have some of those.
Guys are interested, write to btv@bungie.com, which is our mailbox. If you have any questions about that tour, we'd be happy to answer them on the air tomorrow and the next day. btv@bungie.com is the address to which you should send all your pressing questions. We did get one other letter last night. I think it was from some guy, I don't remember his name is, but the general gist of the message was, hey, why don't you guys shut the hell up, stop talking, and show us the games? So it wasn't worded very politely, but I took it to heart, and we're going to cut directly right now to Oni. The second part of our Oni coverage started yesterday, and I believe Peter has managed to rustle up a member of the Oni squad down from San Jose, bring him up to Moscone Center to show us some cool stuff. Hey, Peter.
Hey there. Good morning again, Joseph. Indeed, we have Steve Abeda from the Oni team. Steve, you work for Bungie, right?
That's right.
Yeah, that's cool. What do you do?
I'm the animator on the project. I give everyone all their moves and stuff.
Hey, that sounds great. So my understanding is that you're going to show us some neat tricks in Oni.
That's right, yeah. We've got some disarming stuff. We've got some tackling stuff that integrates hand-to-hand and guns together.
Hey, that's really cool because as I understand it, one of the things that makes Oni really unique is the fact that you can blend seamlessly martial arts and gunplay in this unique environment with anime. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's one of the hard things to do is we want to give the player all this control to do these flying kicks, running tackles. At the same time, it's one half shooter, right? You have a gun, so you have to think, how do you integrate those two things together? And one of those things we've done is to actually let Konoko and any other character run up to someone, do a martial arts move, and take their gun. So now Now you can shoot.
Kind of like in The Matrix.
That's right.
Oh, that's cool, man. Matrix is a cool movie.
So hey, Peter, without any further ado, why don't we zoom in on that screen and see some of these disarming moves?
All right, that sounds great. So, Steve, why don't you go ahead and show us one of the disarming moves here and talk us through what you're doing.
Okay. So let's say we got Jim over there being the striker. Let's say he's got the gun and he's shooting at you. If you can actually close the gap and get in on him, you can perform this takeaway. So you see now I've got his gun, and he took some damage in the process. And there's multiple moves you can do. You can come in here, do this, kick him in the face, shoot him while he's down. Now I've got his gun. Now I've got the upper hand. Yeah, every character's got this. So you get Ninja, he's got this quick disarm move. We can go to striker. Striker versus striker. He's got the move. Now I've got the gun.
That is cool. That's cool.
Sweet.
All right.
Hey, could you ask Steve to show us maybe a couple other disarm moves? The camera went out of focus a little bit, so.
Yeah, hey, Steve, why don't you show us a couple other disarming
Maybe
moves? I
with
guess
a
our
red
camera went out of
striker.
focus a little bit, and show us a couple of those things again, because that is pretty cool. Zoom right on in there. Oh, ouch! It popped him, man.
Hey, maybe Steve could show one of the other characters, Peter.
Yeah, hey, Steve, any other characters that you might be able to show us?
From behind Jim. So Ninja's one of our quick stealthy characters. Just go ahead and I'll just do a disarm from behind. Just go ahead and stand there, Jim. So you can see Ninja's got that quick release. He sneaks up on someone from behind. He can disarm the guy. He didn't even know what happens. Doesn't take any damage, but he flips around him.
Hey, Peter, ask Steve if he can show
we got Elite, which is one of our bigger characters. Break his back while you take his gun. I'll do a disarm from the front here with Elite. You can see how he grabs him, just flings him around like a rag doll. He ends up with the gun. So they've all got their own moves to do, and it fits their character. Here's Red, just kicking Striker down. So I think that's just about it for those.
That's
pretty
very cool. That's great. Hey, thanks a lot, Peter. I think that's some pretty cool footage.
That's great. Thanks a lot, Steve.
You bet. So, another great part of Bungie TV is we have some really great friends in hardware community and the software community, and we'd like to invite a couple of them on while we're broadcasting BTV. And today we've got a really special guest for you. We have Kathy Taffel from Apple Computer, so I'm going to invite Kathy into the studio. We're going to get her set up with a mic and ask her a couple really tough questions. Come on in, Kathy. Here's your microphone. You might just want to clip that onto your collar there. Doing pretty good. We're just going to take a second. We're going to get a camera zoomed in on Kathy for a minute. While we're setting up the camera, actually, I'd like to make a brief announcement. Last night, we had a Bungie Fan Fest, which I announced on BTV yesterday, and we had some really great attendance. I'd say we probably had close to 100, maybe even more than that, fans attend the Fan Fest. Alex, CEO of Bungie, had his video recorded there last night. We got some great footage. Tomorrow in the show, we'll be broadcasting some footage from that, some of the choice moments of the Bungie Fan Fest. And you definitely want to stay tuned. We got Matt, our head of tech support, sort of resident guru of all things Bungie, to answer some questions. We had Marty O'Donnell from Total Audio at the Fan Fest answering some questions about the soundtrack to Myth. Some really cool footage. We're going to put that together for you, and we'll be showing that tomorrow on the show. So I think we're just about set up. Hey, Kathy.
Hey, Joseph, how you doing?
How's it going? So Kathy and I talk all the time, but you guys probably don't know Kathy at all. So Kathy, would you mind telling people what you do, who you work for?
I work for Apple Computer, and right now I'm wearing two hats. I've been working in the developer relations group with fine folks like Bungie for the last year and a half. And I'm just now moving over this month to work in our consumer markets group and launched the Apple Games site last month. So everybody should go to www.apple.com/games for some fresh content next week.
That sounds cool. Hey, actually, incidentally, we know Kathy from way back. Kathy was actually the winner of one of our first Myth tournaments. What was that, a couple years ago?
It was St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
98.
Kathy was dominant. I mean, when she won, I don't mean to say she just won. She dominated the field, kicked some major tail. So Kathy's not just someone who works at Apple. She's pretty hardcore.
Well, what I like to think about it, Joseph, is that the boys got kind of wrapped up into testosterone and lost sight of the goal. And you know, some of the things are just not body count. You know, there's flags to be won, balls to get, and those boys just wanted to kill each other. And I think they just lost sight of what they really were after, and I won the tournament because of that.
Actually, you're making a pretty interesting argument, which is in fact that there's something unique about being a girl gamer that actually might give you an edge.
I think so. I think so.
I can see the Bungie forums just erupting in debate. And actually, if you look, I don't know if you can see, but Kathy is such a dedicated Bungie fan. So looking forward to Oni that she in fact does have purple hair, just like Hinoko, which is pretty cool. Hey, so Kathy, I wanted to ask you one question, and that's if you could talk a little bit about what Apple's doing right now. There's been a lot of talk about Apple supporting games, being a great gaming platform. Could you tell everybody a little bit about what Apple's doing to make Macs the premier gaming platform?
Sure. So we have two things. We have hardware and software. So let me talk a little bit about the hardware. When I first came on board, we did not have any 3D acceleration. Now, across our entire product line, we have 3D acceleration. That means that our software developers can count on having 3D acceleration across all of our machines. And so they don't have to worry about the configurations that the end user has. Now, about software, we just recently...
Which, by the way, is great from a hardware point of view. For the Oni team, for example, like we got Oni up and running on a G3, G4. We actually got it running on one of your guys' new iMacs the other day, so it makes it a lot easier from us from a hardware point of view. But
they're very glad to hear that. So we also just released a new version of our OpenGL, and that's taking off. And you'll see companies like 3D Effects have announced products based on OpenGL so that our high-end customers with the G4 and G3s can upgrade to have the fastest 3D acceleration. Our Wage 128 is now the baseline in the iMac, and of course there's faster graphics out there, and we're really pleased to punch that we've got really fast video graphics. And then going further in our operating system, we're creating technologies that make it really easy for developers to bring their products to the Macintosh as fast as possible. So I'm really looking forward to Mac OS 10. All your games will run on Mac OS 10. The ones that take advantage of the new features will run even faster. And then, oh gosh, I forgot the Velocity engine in our G4, which is will make things like advanced 3D games just really run a lot faster because they're able to do the math a lot faster.
So if any of you guys out there, I know we have Mac fans, we have PC using fans. If you're a Mac user, you should feel very comfortable and very happy that you have Kathy Taffel working for you at Apple, because Kathy kicks some major ass, if I may say so. So thanks, Kathy, for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
And I'll see you around.
Thank you, Joseph.
Great. Kathy's going to exit the studio because we have such high production value. She's actually going to have to walk across the cameras. So, just let me grab your mic before you go.
No.
Excellent. Thanks, Kathy. And finally, on Bungie TV today, yesterday we had a 2-minute rant by Alex Seropian, the CEO of Bungie. Today we've got, well, I'm not going to say an even better rant, but a different kind of rant. Come on in, Peter. Peter Tampty, here's your mic, Peter. Our roving reporter, and yes, indeed, the executive vice president of publishing at Bungie Software, has prepared. Well, Peter, let me give you the rules, because the rules are kind of important. You got 2 minutes, and no more than 2 minutes. I'm really brutal. I'll cut you off, but you've got 2 minutes to talk about. Fix your mic for you. Whatever you want. Okay. Actually, let me get your. You don't mind if I touch you closely, do you, Peter? There you go. Yeah. He's joking. We do this all the time. So, Peter, I hear what you're going to do. Oh, first of all, you flew into San Francisco. How was your flight?
What kind of dumbass question is that? How was my flight? My flight sucked. All airplane flights suck. You know why? They stick 140 people in some tin can for 5 hours. It's meant to hold 100 people. Throw a bunch of flight attendants in whose hatred for you is exceeded only by their hatred for the airline. And you're not exactly going to create the foundation for a pleasant experience. What else you want to know?
So, I'm sorry. I mean, I didn't mean to open that can of worms, Peter,
sorry.
But you're here to talk about Oni, right?
Yeah, whatever. You know what really irritates me, though, is you'd think somebody would be able to do something about the airlines, but who's going to do something about it? Congress? I mean, look, I've been a loyal Republican. I know that might come as a surprise to those who know me. A loyal Republican since about the day I was born. But I'm getting a little frustrated here, okay? Because, I mean, it's been, what? Republicans have had control of Congress for 6 years. Yet my taxes keep going up. Government's more intrusive than ever before. I mean, what's the point? I mean, take Senate Majority Leader Trent Lott, for example. I mean, Look, I used to think that guy was either stupid or incompetent. But you know what? No, he's neither. He just likes his job too much. You see, because what he does actually is he takes my tax money and then he just transfers that to whoever gives him a big campaign donation. I mean, what we really ought to do is we really ought to super glue a Jar Jar Binks mask to his face. Or even better, somebody ought to slap his face hard enough to dislodge all those acorns he's been storing in his cheeks for winter.
Right, Jar Jar Binks mask. Hey, correct me if I'm wrong, Peter, but weren't you going to come on today and talk about Kanoko or?
Oni, that's right, yeah. You see, what's really neat about Oni, one of the things that's really cool about Oni is this whole thing that we call full contact action, all right? So this is the idea that you're going to blend seamlessly martial arts and shooting in one game.
Right.
So what I've done actually is I've drawn up an illustration of that.
Actually, I happen to have that picture right here, Peter. We getting that on camera? Oh, that's good.
Okay. See, so what we're seeing right now is we're seeing Kanoko demonstrating full contact action on Trent Lott.
Oh, I see. So Trent's taking one right in the chops there from Kanoko.
Indeed.
Hey, Peter, would you say this is sort of a graphic representation of your rage?
Yeah, whatever.
Thanks, Peter, for coming on the show. I think you went over a little bit over 2 minutes, but that was a quality rant, so what can you do? Hey, thanks, everybody, for tuning in on BTV. A little bit longer of a broadcast today, but just stuff full of more goodness for you to enjoy. Coming tomorrow at 10:30, slight programming schedule change. The show opens at 10. It's easier for us to broadcast at 10:30. Look for tomorrow's show starting at 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Same place, Moscone Center at Macworld San Francisco 2000. If you're in the Bay Area, haven't come down already, want to see the show, want to vie for wacky Bungie prizes by doing a stupid fan trick, drop on by the Bungie booth. We'd be happy to have you. Again, if you have any questions you want answered on BTV, the address to send your letters to is btv@bungie.com. And finally, again, I want to thank our friends at Apple, our friends at ATI, our friends at VST Technologies, and Sorensen for Broadcaster for helping us with today's program. That's it for today. See you tomorrow at 10:30, everybody. Bye-bye.